Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, welcome. My name is Anna. I'm an attorney in Miami, Florida. And this month and going into January of 2022, we're focused on effective co-parenting. And we're developing some videos that are going to give you some tips that I give my clients when either you're in a divorce and there's minor children, or there's a paternity action, there's a separation between two people that have a child in common and they've initiated either a paternity action or some sort of child support enforcement action. So welcome, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to send me a message or shoot me a comment below if you have any suggestions on ways that we can improve, or if there's anything specific that you want to see so we can create better content and to help better serve our community. So let's get started. Now, today I wanted to talk to you about effective co-parenting when it comes to any expenses incurred on behalf of the minor children that are either not covered by insurance, so out-of-pocket expenses, or extracurricular activities, school uniforms, and that sort of thing. Those things are not typically covered in child support, although sometimes if you have an average of out-of-pocket expenses, that can be factored in. But typically speaking, what's factored in are three things: daycare costs, and I apologize, my dog is she likes to make a lot of noise. Daycare costs, medical insurance for the doctors, and then there's dental insurance. Those are the three things that are always factored into child support. If there's out-of-pocket expenses, that could also be factored in there, but it's to make it cleaner, it's typically not included. So that way, when you do incur an expense, you just send the other parent a copy of the invoice and request for them to reimburse you within X amount of days. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, in any case, whether it's paternity, child support, or a divorce, if there's minor children involved, then there's going to be a parenting plan that's going to govern what's going to happen with the schedule of the kids, with certain payments that are not covered under child support, such as school uniforms and that sort of thing. And what's usually the standard is that it's either 50-50 for out-of-pocket expenses that will be covered by each parent. If one parent makes substantially more than the other, then you can ask for what's called prorated, which means that it would allocate a percentage of depending on how much you make. So if the other parent makes substantially more, then it could look something like, instead of 50-50, it could be 60-40, 70-30. It really depends on your income, and child support guidelines also gives you that percentage. So it's very important that in your parenting plan, you want to include a provision on how to either request for reimbursement and a time frame for when that reimbursement is going to happen. When there's issues, it's usually because the agreement doesn't necessarily specify how much time the other parent has to provide the payment, and it also doesn't specify how to request for it. So, and then it's really sad, but sometimes either one parent is embarrassed or just doesn't want to bother the other one, so they don't ask for reimbursement until there's a problem, and then it's too late. And not that it's too late, but you don't want to wait a year to request for a medical expense that happened, a few years ago. So, because you don't want an argument to be presented against you, you want it to be pretty clear, black and white. So here's my tip for you. Have a template, have something, it could be 2 sentences, where you just make it automatic, make it a habit that the minute you incur an expense, you plug in the information and you send it via email or text. It's very important to keep it in writing, just because if you do at any point need to enforce it or request a court to ask the other parent to make the payment, you want to make sure that it's in writing and it's not a he said, she said, but it's actually, look, I covered all my bases, I incurred the expense, I gave them a receipt right away, and I waited a few weeks and I still haven't heard back, or I waited a few weeks and they say that they're not going to pay me. Something like that. The sentence or the template could say, hello so-and-so, hello fill in the blank, attached please find the latest invoice on Paul's braces that were not covered under the dental insurance, please submit your portion immediately, or if you're not submitting the portion directly to the doctor, please reimburse me for your portion that I covered this time, period. Fill in the blanks for whatever it is. For example, in this example, for the braces, you can kind of leave that blank so that you could plug in uniform or school books or soccer cleats or anything that, again, is an expense that you've agreed or the other party agreed to contribute to. And again, it's usually out-of-pocket expenses for medical and dental, and it's usually anything related to extracurricular activities or school uniforms, books, and that sort of thing. So I'm gonna have this information in the comment section below. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us, let us know so we can help create content to help better serve our community. Thanks.